Welcome, ladies, to your New Year's Eve Zoom workout at Fit Club for Women. Let's go ahead and get started with our warm-up. We're going to start with a side-to-side tap.
60 seconds. Please proceed to a station.
I am very pleased that you are here on New Year's Eve. We are going to take that champagne we're going to drink tonight, or sparkling cider, and it's going to become our recovery drink. Got to replenish all those carbohydrates. Yes, it's for health reasons. Keep your core nice and tight, nice soft landings here as we move from side to side. We're going to bring the hands to the shoulders, and we're going to involve the upper body with a reach, If this is sensitive on your shoulder at any point, you can always just do one arm, the good arm, whatever works. But here we're going, yay, 2020 is over, yay. Of course, you know, time is a construct and things may still take a while to change, but for tonight, let's breathe a sigh of relief. Beautiful. And we got 4.
Begin set 1.
And we got 3, 2, and 1. We're going to keep the feet going, but bring the arms across with a little bit of a twist. So one thing I like to do, if you want to do a complete twist, you find a spot on either wall to gaze at. This is a very dancer thing to do. It's called spotting. However, for some people, it makes them a little dizzy. So if you just want to keep your eyes forward, that's okay too. Keeping your shoulders down away from your ears. Beautiful. We're reaching for new goals. And I may or may not make everything a metaphor about the new year. Maybe not the whole workout, I'm not that quick. Good. And we got 4, 3,
Begin 2,
1. Go ahead and plant your feet. You're gonna bring your hands up and we're going to punch, punch, punch. Punch the old year away. Sorry, I'm feeling corny today. Good. Keeping your knees nice and soft. We have a little bit of a hinge in the hip, keeping that core nice and tight as we move through. Now you're noticing that I'm using my upper body to get a little bit of power in those punches. If your lower back doesn't care for the swaying, you're more than welcome to keep it stable. That is absolutely fine. But I like
exercise.
When I think of 2020, it makes me mad, so I like to add a little power here. Good. Beautiful. We're going to take those punches and we're going to bring them up underneath the chin. So if 2020's face is right here, you come up under the chin. These are called uppercuts. We're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, and really focusing your aim here. I want you to be really specific. And then when you bring your arm back, you bring it back to cover your face, just like you're in a boxing match. Good. Now our equipment for today is going to be a pair of hand weights and a mat, and that's it. Beautiful. Keeping that core nice and tight. And if you can pick up the pace, go ahead and do so. We're approaching the end of our warm-up here. At the end of our warm-up, you're going to grab your hand weights right away. Oh, my apologies. We actually have one more set. So let's go ahead and bring our weight over, over, over. So continuing with the boxing theme, we're going into what's called a boxer shuffle. We're taking the weight of our entire torso over to right and left.
Set 4.
Good. Now, you'll notice I'm not actually leaving the ground at all. My feet are staying planted and I'm getting that height from my heels, lifting and lifting. However, for set 4, if you want to get a little bit warmer and you don't mind going low, a little higher impact, you take it over. Beautiful. Breathe. We're going to bring those hands down, go into jump rope. Finish up our warm-up like this. Oh, getting that core temperature up, muscles getting ready to work. Should feel your breath coming a little faster by now.
Stop exercise and switch to the next
Switching stations, we're going to go ahead and grab our hand weights. Always being mindful when we pick up our hand weights. So today and tomorrow is all about change. So we're going to be changing it up a lot with our workout today. First thing we're going to do is find a place on the wall. We're coming to a very simple wall sit. Walking those feet forward. Weight is in the heels. You're going to come down, and for now, you're just resting your weight on your lap. Keep a grip on the weights themselves. You're not lifting them at all, but you just want to make sure that they're not going to fall off. Belly button is in. Very nice. Making sure that your knees are on the same plane as your toes. I don't want any falling in or flaring out. And you should be able to wiggle your toes lightly.
Stop exercise.
Gorgeous. Take a break, but only if you need to. We're going to continue to change things up. Set 2. We're going to go ahead and bring those weights down by our sides. Bicep curl alternating.
Begin set 2.
One at a time, taking your time. Now I'm against a pole, but hopefully you're against a wall that you can press your elbows back against. What we don't really want is this. No rolling forward of that elbow. You want to make sure that you are nice and stabilized in that upper body, and that's going to isolate, pardon me, that bicep muscle really well. Gorgeous. Keep that breath going. Core is nice and tight. And we can take a break
exercise
right now at the end of this set. Whew. Be mindful of how you come in and out of your wall sits. Very nice. Set 3. We're going to change it up again. Holding a wall sit, feet all the way together this time. So nice and snug. Thighs and ankles should be pressed together. Coming down into our wall sit. And then we're going to march very slowly. One knee is going to come up just a couple of inches, and then a very soft landing. Now the hands are just relaxing. You can rest your weight on your thighs if you want to, but keep in mind that that's going to make the march itself harder. If your knees don't like the march, you don't have to do it.
Stop exercise.
Beautiful. Take your break if you need it. I'm going to keep going because I'm crazy. Set 4, we're going to change it up again. Always changing. Beautiful. Keeping that core nice and tight. Excellent. Set 4, you're going to plant both feet, hold your wall sit back into our bicep curls. This time, both arms going at the same time. So before, we had alternating. Now we have both, which means that both arms are getting twice as many reps. Whew. I just came off my own workout, so that's why I'm panting so much in case you're all interested. Now, if you can, go ahead and pick up that pace just a tiny bit. 1, 2.
Stop exercising and switch to the next.
Good. Go ahead and come on up. We're going to keep the weights in our hands. And we're going to go into a row. So taking one foot way back, big letter A. If you've done a Zoom workout with me before, it's very possible you've done this exact move.
Begin
Torso is forward. We have a straight line from the spine all the way into the heel. Arms are going to float forward somewhat. Elbows are going to come up and squeeze the shoulder blades. So some people in this position can feel a little bit wobbly. If that's you, you're going to take your feet out of tightrope, bring that back foot out to the side a little bit more. It's going to widen your base of support, basically make it a little more stable. Both hips are pointing forward, as are both toes. We want to make sure that we're not rolling or rotating outward. Very good. Give me one more row. And then you're going to bring the weights into your chest. You're going to shift your weight onto that front foot, tap, and then tap.
Begin set 2.
Our weight is now completely on the front foot. The other foot is tapping, feather-light taps forward and back. You'll notice I'm not shifting in my torso at all. I'm not stepping my weight back. It's very light. Now this hinge can sometimes get a little tiring for the lower back. Pull that belly button in. If you need to come up a little bit too, that's okay. But you should feel some burning in the supporting quad, and this is also stability work.
Stop exercise.
Woo, come on up, full break. Now you're going to switch legs. So I'll take this one forward and the other one back. Usually I'll switch directions so you can see me a little bit better, but to avoid confusion, I'll just switch.
Begin set 3. 3.
Big letter A with those legs. Torso comes forward slightly. Core is nice and tight. Pull those elbows up and squeeze your shoulder blades. Squeeze. You're really trying to wrap your shoulder blades around your spine, or pinch a penny between your shoulder blades. Whatever visualization will help you access and engage those upper back muscles. Now, we do want to make sure that we are tilting down a little bit. When we're up here, it's not exactly the angle we're going for. We want to work against gravity a little
Stop
bit.
exercise.
Beautiful. Give me 2 more. 2 and 1. Elbows in. Hold the weights close to the torso, and I mean close. You're really pressing them into your belly button. Shift your weight into your front leg. Tap, tap.
Begin set 4.
Now, the weight in that front foot should be back in the heel. In order to achieve this, you do have to sit your hips back a little bit. It's like you're doing a little chair pose, but on 1 leg instead of 2. Feather-like taps. Now, if your lower back is really tired, if you need to set the weights down and do this just body weight for this last set, that is just fine. At the end of set 4, we're going to come on down to our mat. We're going to bring the weights with us.
Stop exercise and switch to the
Woo!
next station.
Come on up. Very nice, ladies. So we're going to begin on our hands and knees. Now, if you have sensitive wrists, I recommend monkey paw for this next one. Up on the strong part of the knuckle, not
Begin
flat like
set
this.
1.
I like to do monkey paw myself. So hands and knees. Then you're going to tuck your toes underneath you. And you're going to lift your knees up just an inch. And hold. Now, the big thing with this one, ladies, is that the lower back loves to do this. This is core work. Got to use that core to keep that tailbone tucked. The back really flat. And hold. If being this low is a problem,
Stop exercise.
my recommendation, find a sturdy chair, couch, bench, what have you. I'm going to demonstrate right over here. It is very possible to do this with your elbows on a bench. So you start on your knees,
Begin
and
set
elbows.
2.
Hook your toes underneath, pick those knees up, probably slightly higher, maybe 2 inches, and hold. Very nice. Keep that tailbone tucked, keep that belly button pulled into the spine. Now for some people, this is plenty, but at the end of set 2, I'm going to show another progression. If you need to modify into a regular plank, that is okay.
Stop exercise.
Beautiful. For some people, it's hard to keep the engagement in order to keep that back flat, but that is the goal. If you find that fairly easy for you and you want to try something a little bit harder, here's your progression. Still up on your hands.
Begin set 3.
Or monkey paw. Lift your knees, tuck your tailbone, hold. Then you're going to bring your right hand forward just an inch, followed by the left foot. Good. You can kind of see where this is going. Left hand forward, right foot forward, hold. Right hand forward, left foot forward, hold. Good. Other side. This is called a beast crawl.
Stop exercise.
Very nice. Drop your knees, give yourself a child's pose. Woo! Go ahead and back up a little bit on the mat. It is possible to do that forward and then backward. If you want to try it, that's fine. I'm not going to try it today because
Begin set 4.
this is enough to get the hang of. Good. Hands and knees, tuck your toes. Lift your knees just an inch. Tuck your tailbone, pull your abs in. Right hand forward, left foot forward. Think back to your twister days. Left hand forward, right foot forward. Do not lose your flat lower back. If you notice your knees are starting to drift up, very common, Try to drop your knees to just above the mat though.
Stop exercise
Woo.
and switch to the next station.
Oh, mama. Give me a quick little child's pose. Then you're going to grab your weights and turn over onto your back. So, weights are going to be at your sides. We're going to begin with a very simple
Begin set
bridge.
1.
But the weights should be kind of stacked and ready for you to pick them up. We want them to be ready to go. Gonna come up, squeeze that booty, give me some pulses. Beautiful. Now this will serve as a little bit of a recovery move. Get your breath back. Think about how nice this morning was before you joined this workout. Beautiful.
Stop exercise.
Gorgeous. Take a break only if you need it. Otherwise, keep your hips up. This time you're going to hold it isometric. Then, driving your elbows into the mat, you're going to lift the weights up and get them ready for a chest press. Now, this is a wide chest press.
Begin set 2.
This is a narrow chest press. I'm going to start with wide. But if you have any shoulder issues with a wide chest press, try narrow. Just like this. So, with any chest press, you want to make sure that your forearm is always stacked on top of your elbow, meaning that your forearms are never going to flare out like a fly, nor are they going to fall in towards your chest. You're going to achieve a beautiful 90 degrees. This
Stop
is true
exercise.
with a narrow chest press as well. Go ahead and take a break. I'm going to drop my hips just for a second. So you notice wide, 90 degrees, and then here's narrow, and 90 degrees means that the weights have to move away from my face
Begin set
a
3.
little bit. Do you see the way the weights are arcing in space very slightly in order to stay stacked on top of that elbow? Go ahead and give me that hip bridge again. This time I'm moving into a narrow chest press. Now, one thing, ladies, I see kind of a lot with a narrow chest press is that when you get to the 90-degree position, a lot of times the weights fall in towards your belly button. You want those arms to stay parallel to each other pretty much the whole time. So we have a lot of kind of geometry going on here.
Stop exercise.
We have parallel arms, we have 90-degree elbows, then all the way back up. Beautiful. Now we're about to go into set 4. Set 4, you're going to choose your favorite chest
Begin
press,
set 4.
either narrow or wide. But you're going to hold it isometrically and pulse the hips. Now you notice I'm not resting my elbows on the mat. They're hovering just an inch. You should feel a lot of burning through the front of your shoulders, front of your chest. Very good, ladies. At the end of this set, we're going to compound our glute work. We will put the weights down at our sides and
Stop exercise and switch to the next station.
very gently drop your elbows. Very gently drop your hips, bring the weights down. Mindfully, we're going to turn back over onto our hands and knees. So, it's also very possible to do this on your elbows and knees. So whatever works for you.
Begin
But
set 1.
we're going to go into some donkey kicks. I'm going to do elbows and knees because my wrists are a little bit tired. You're going to bring your knees all the way together, and one heel is going to come up toward the sky with a flexed foot, and you're going to pulse. Now I'm going to show you this progression right away. You can, if you like, take your weight, squeeze your calf against the back of your thigh, and that way you're adding some resistance here. Optional, totally optional. And if you want to try it on the next one, that's just fine.
Stop exercise.
Good. Very nice. Give me 2 more pulses here. 1 more. Slowly drop that knee, take a break. We're going to do another set on the same side. So now is the time to add the weight if you wanted to give it a try.
Begin set 2.
Now, a couple things to keep in mind with the donkey kick. The biggest one being the lower back. No matter what position you're in, you want to Modify the height of your heel so that you don't start to curve in the lower back. If we start to come up too high, a lot of times we're getting that height from the spine, bowing, which we do not want. So you want to keep that belly button pulled in and only come up high enough for you to access the glute, not the lower back.
Stop, exercise.
Beautiful. Now when you're down on your elbows like I was, you're going to be able to get your heel a little bit higher without your back bowing. However, I'm going to show you being up on my hands and knees. We're going to switch to the other side for sets 3 and 4.
Begin set 3.
When I'm on my hands and knees, a lot of times it's real easy for that lower back to start to go, right? So you want to make sure that you're keeping all of this really stable. Belly button's pulled in, lower back stays flat, hips are really even. So the pulses are lower than you think, probably slower than you think as well. We're just trying to get that hamstring and that booty to burn. And honestly, ladies, you might even feel a little bit of burn
Stop,
in your
exercise.
supporting hip as well. Go ahead and take that break. Whew. If you like, you can do a little mini cat and cow in between here. Gorgeous. All right, last set of these. At the
Begin
end
set 4.
of set 4, go ahead and get started. Ooh, and my back started to go. I had to be careful there. At the end of set 4, we're going to grab our weights. We're going to come on up to standing. Beautiful. Core's tight. Ooh. Very, very nice. Slow, small pulses. Squeezing your calf into the back of your leg, especially if you're holding on to a weight, that's going to help to stabilize the weight.
Stop, exercise, and
Beautiful.
switch to the next station.
Go ahead and grab that weight. We're going to work on some triceps, which I know is many people's one of their favorite areas to work. So we're going to begin with a tricep pulse back. We're going
Begin
to take our
set
palms, facing them to the back wall. Knees are nice and soft, and there's a tiny hinge in your hips. Belly button is tight, and we pulse, pulse, pulse. Now you'll notice here, I'm moving from the shoulder. I'm not moving from the elbow. My arm is all one unit. Now my elbows aren't locked, but they are moving in one piece, as one piece. We should feel a fair amount of burning, the top of the tricep and the back of the shoulder.
exercise.
Very good. That's tricep move number 1. Here's tricep move number 2. You're gonna face your palms into your sides, one leg way back into the letter A, elbows are gonna come up. We're gonna press those tricep kickbacks.
Begin set 2.
Now, I'm showing you a number of variations on tricep work. Feel free to try all of them. However, if I show you one and you know for a fact that maybe your shoulder's too sensitive to try it, just go back to one that you do like. Like for example, if this one, like maybe your lower back's a little bit tired and this one is bothering it, you can always feel free to go back to this one. Take good care of yourselves. Beautiful. So this is option 2.
Exercise.
Gorgeous. Here's option 3. You're going to cross the weights into an X to make it easy to grab onto both at the same time. This one, be careful if you have a shoulder injury. You're going to press it overhead.
Begin set
Dropping
3.
behind the head and then a full extension. Now here, very important that you keep your core tight and you do not bow your lower back. Glutes are squeezed, knees are soft. Elbows are by your ears. If you can't get them that high, if you're up here, then you probably should go back to another one of the tricep moves. Your elbows ideally will be parallel to each other. Beautiful. If you're flaring out too much, try your best to get them close. Excellent. Bring those weights down to your chest. Here's the break. Now, to reiterate, tricep 1, pulsing from the shoulder. Tricep 2, A position with the kickback.
Begin set
Tricep
4.
3, overhead press. You choose. Set 4 has begun. You do your favorite, whichever one challenges you, but doesn't bother your shoulder. And I'm gonna kind of switch back and forth between the 2, or the 3 rather. Good, keep going, ladies. Here's the kickback. Big letter A, elbows up, palms are facing each other. Squeeze the shoulder blades just a little bit. Keep your core nice and tight. And if you're pulsing, small hinge, core tight, soft knees.
Stop exercise and switch to the
beautiful.
next station.
Go ahead, relax, roll your shoulders back and down. We're gonna come on down to the mat for our core work. Mindfully put down the weights, please. And lie down on your back. Good idea here to pull your knees gently into your chest. Give yourself a little stretch.
1.
And we're gonna begin very simply with a crunch. Hands laced into a basket. Behind the head, elbows are wide. And we engage those upper abdominals to bring our shoulders up off the mat. Now you wanna make sure your chin is nice and open. Nose isn't going to your pelvis as much as it's going to the ceiling. Now you notice I still have my knees into my chest. This is optional. If you like, you can put your feet on the floor. But I like having that little added lower ab
exercise
work. Gorgeous. We're gonna do 2 more. 1 more, take a quick little break. Excellent. Set 2, we're gonna go into a march. So you're gonna start with your feet on the floor. Lightly on the
begin
floor.
set 2.
We're gonna engage the abdominals to press the lower back down into the mat, and then one knee is going to slowly come up and then float back down, lightly land, followed by the other knee. Now this really doesn't look like that much work, but it's very important that we land very softly as if we're resting our feet on a very thin, delicate sheet of glass. You can rest it on the floor, but you don't want to push. When we start pushing,
Stop
the
exercise.
work starts to go into our hamstrings and our glutes and takes away from the work that the abs have to do in order to keep that lower back flat on the floor. Good. And at a certain point, this should feel weirdly hard.
Begin set 3.
Beautiful. Set 3, we're gonna keep marching. Lower back is flat, feet are light, and we're adding a curl isometrically. So your lower back is flat, your shoulders are up, your chin is open, elbows are wide. Woo, gorgeous. Slow, slow movements. Oh. Now make sure that you really are supporting your head. Don't want your neck to get tired, but we also want to make sure that the elbows stay wide. We don't want to clench like this. Good, do 1 more, and then give me a little break. Rock your knees from right to left, give your lower back a little massage against the mat. And our final set is going to be just lower abdominals. So,
begin set 4.
pull those knees in, hold them at a 90-degree. Head is relaxed, arms can be behind the head or at your sides, either is fine. And we're going to reverse the march. So this time, instead of coming up from the floor, you're going down to the floor. Tap lightly and then come all the way back up again. Now ladies, I do have a client at 10 o'clock, so I will not be able to come up and say hello. But I hope you all have a wonderful New Year's Eve, even if it's quieter than usual. And that starting tomorrow, things will feel renewed. Keep that core nice and tight, lower back nice and flat. You're rocking out these last few seconds. It's the last workout of 2020, and you're nailing it. I wish I had a fancy hat or a silly pair of glasses, but I don't. Good. Keep everything nice and tight. You've got this. Whew. Is this set going on longer than usual? Oh, Dave turned it off. That's our workout. Yay! Great work, ladies. We accidentally conned you into doing more ab work. All right. Have a wonderful new year. I'll see you next year. And please find a way to enjoy yourselves tonight and enjoy that champagne, those hors d'oeuvres, because you earned it.